Hi, my name is Danny McBride, and I feel thrilling about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
Wait, thrilling? Yeah, you feel thrilling?
I feel
thrilling,
thrilled.
Not thrilled to
Thrilled.
be here.
Actually, it's so cool. The way you said it has nothing to do with me.
It sounds to me like plausible deniability
Yes,
about it.
yes. Hey there, welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. It's not just me that does this podcast. I am the beneficiary of having very strong, powerful, independent voices joining me. One of those is Sona Movsesian. Hello, Sona, and
Hi.
welcome.
Hello.
And how can I welcome you when you already are welcome and you are an integral part of this whole?
What are you doing?
Matt Gourley, good to see you as well. And I thank you for your service. No one gets there alone. So here we are together on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
Who are
and
you?
I am, what?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
My name is Conan O'Brien.
No, you're not.
And I'm someone who's just filled with gratitude.
No, you're not.
Glad to be here.
Have you been body snatched?
I was body snatched. I was very tired last night and I fell asleep next to a strange new plant I found.
Oh, no.
When I woke up this morning, there was a decayed, beady-eyed carcass next to me.
Yeah.
And then my body felt refreshed and new.
I like this, whatever it
I do
is.
too.
Yeah.
If you ever got body snatched, I feel like we'd all know like right away.
Yeah.
And it would just be you being nice to us.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
And
not doing bits, just being normal.
That's right. That's how you would know. I would just
Yeah.
be, hello, Sona, how are you? And
No.
how's your
And
family?
you'd be interested in the answer and you would wait for a response.
You know, it'd be
Yeah.
funny. The minute if there were body snatchers out there, if I came in and all I would have to do is say, hi, Sona, how are you? And you would shoot me in the head with a shotgun.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would.
And you'd be right.
Yes, I would. 100%. I would know immediately.
I remember there was an episode of The Simpsons back in my time where I think it was one of the Halloween episodes. There's zombies that are taking over Springfield and Homer's shooting zombies left and right. And then Flanders pops up in a window and Homer shoots his head off and someone says, how did you know that he was a zombie? And he went, he was a zombie? I just always love that joke that he blew Flanders' head off. Not even thinking about him being a zombie or not. You shot zombie Flanders.
Oh,
Flanders was a
man.
zombie. Anyway, no, I just wanted to give credit where credit's due, and I think this is a village.
He's
and we
still
do it together.
going.
I know.
Hey,
It's really unsettling.
What have you done with Conan?
I want to talk about something, which is I always have ink on my hands. I don't know if that comes up on the podcast, but
I don't think it has.
I write a lot with pens, and I'm constantly doodling, and I always have a pen in my hand, and I'm constantly writing notes in a journal or on a scrap of paper. And lately, I've been using this fountain pen that Jeff Ross got me for my birthday, which is really nice, and I use it all the time, but it does bleed a little bit of ink, and I'm constantly...
Does it squirt?
What's that?
Does it squirt?
like
are you
a
doing?
novelty?
No, I'm not doing anything.
It doesn't.
Why did you
no.
think
It's
I was?
it's just that when you're working around bottles of ink and stuff like that, and I kind of like it all my life.
It's
I've been
like an actual fountain pen. With
Like
the
there's
nib
liquid
and
yeah,
everything?
yeah,
inside
it's really
sloshing?
nice. And I'm not. This is not
Oh,
an ad.
wicked,
It's
yeah.
I think it's an Aurora.
But it doesn't.
It's an Aurora. It's really nice. It's a good pen, and he got it from me, and I really like it. And thanks again, Jeff.
Let me try that
I
out.
use it all the time. But look at my hands, and I noticed when we were just shooting a travel show, Sona, and you were with me, or in all of my different travels, I'm always about to go on camera and I see that there's ink over my right hand everywhere. And I just look like a little scrub.
Why?
First of all, feel how warm this
But
is. What
why
have you
is
been
it-
doing with this pen?
What's
Is
that?
it-
Well, I keep it in a safe place.
Why is it
so
leaking
warm.
so much?
No, it's
and
not.
I said,
It's not
squirt,
leaking.
but you guys
Don't
gotta.
diss the Aurora pen. It's just that sometimes, no. You gotta, God, you're not, you just, look, see?
I'm writing with the pen incorrectly. No,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
whatever you're
you went
doing.
like this, and with a fountain pen, you need to come at it with an angle. You were coming at it straight down, and that's just stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Do you
I was
feel how warm it
writing.
is?
Huh?
Do you feel how warm
Yeah.
it is?
Well, I know. I think he's.
Well, I
toasty.
always hold it and I flip it around in my hand.
Oh, okay.
And I always do that with pens.
Why are pens like that better than normal pens?
I'm not, well, they're beautiful looking,
Yeah, they are.
and it's just kind of nice. I've always been a little bit, even when I was a kid, I told you I loved pens, paper. I wanted office supplies.
Yeah.
I mean, what a freaky kid. I wasn't asking for a baseball glove. I wanted a little stamp that said void.
Stationary.
I wanted ledgers. I wanted.
Did you get them?
God.
Yeah, my parents were very nice to me. They would indulge me, but I remember thinking all I want to do is be able to sign forms and then stamp them and then put them in a pneumatic tube, like in the 1920s and
Or Home Depot in the 90s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just I was always into
That's
that.
okay.
But anyway, I'm just getting a little self-conscious now that I go to these nice events or events where I'm supposed to be on camera, and sometimes I look at the picture later on, and it looks like I've crawled out of a grave.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're doing it wrong.
What?
I think you're just writing incorrectly.
You know what you need is
this from the person who. I'm not going to talk about
I'm just saying.
the angle with which you attacked the page.
I was about to say there's no ink on my finger, but there
Oh,
is.
look.
There is.
You need some of that powder that like Shakespeare would throw on it after they write, that soaks it up.
Yeah. I think it was just sand back in the day.
Oh.
I don't know.
Do you have a quill?
I don't have a quill. I've never had a quill.
Okay.
But
I feel like you're a quill guy.
Yeah,
I feel like
Sona,
you're very quill-esque.
You're a real quill
You've seen
guy.
my blotters over the years,
I
right?
have,
I would
yeah.
just fill them with little...
So many doodles. We kept them all. They were on
Yeah,
your
we have
desk,
'em.
and then when they would fill up, I would replace them, and then you would just doodle away.
Just blanket them, and you could probably tell my mood if you looked at here's a blotter from 1997.
Yeah.
And you could probably tell what was going on in my life.
Well, even right now in your journal, you've written in some kind of hieroglyphics.
Yeah, I
or-
write.
Does that mean anything?
No, I just try and create little languages, and I like making lines. But anyway, that's what I got. Is that I'm covered in ink all the time now, and I need to clean up my shit a little bit here.
You need
Yes, go ahead.
I've completely stopped using pens and paper. I'm past that. I got a Kindle Scribe
Yep.
that I've started to doodle on, which is great.
Yeah.
So
are you trying to get a free one? Why would you bring this up?
No, I'm just saying. If you need a solve, you can move into the digital age instead of
That's
going back.
true.
Move
No.
forward.
Better
I
for
don't
paper.
Move forward. You can email yourself notes. It's great.
I like
no
the
offense.
tactile.
No offense, but I like the tactile
Yeah.
nature.
This is tactile.
Listen, I'm very suspicious, Bley, and for good reason, that you mentioned it's a Kindle Scribe.
We
Because
can take that out.
Because
It's great.
no,
We don't have to
we're,
take it
we're gonna
out.
leave it
Say,
in because
look,
based on your
it's-
past
send
behavior,
it.
I think you're going to try and write that off now.
No,
I think
They
you
should
are.
send it
No,
to
no,
us.
I think you are.
By the
Because
way,
you know what?
I was gone for that. And Bley, we got to talk, man.
You know what? If we brought that up again,
no.
I
We
need
don't-
to.
You know
I
what?
need
You're
to
guilty of the same
apologize
thing
to
that-
your mom.
Pause. We're going to continue this in the segment after the interview. It will be actually part 4 of Bley's tax saga.
Tax evasion scandal. And by the way, Bley is guilty of the same thing that put Capone in prison.
Okay, take us to the intro.
My guest today is a hilarious writer, producer, and actor behind such shows as Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, and The Righteous Gemstones. He now has a new book titled Thrilling Tales of Modern Men. Very excited he's back on the podcast. Danny McBride, welcome. Danny, as you know, I'm a massive fan of yours, have been since day one.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
And I'm just thrilled that you're here. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and we'll talk more in depth about it in a little bit. But you wrote a book of short stories called Thrilling Tales of Modern Men. And you write so well, and the stories are great. And I'm very proud of you and also jealous because I like to write. I haven't gotten my shit together to do something like this. And this is fantastic. And then the thing I'm most jealous of is the first quote. You know, you get, known people to write a nice quote on the back. Yours is from Sturgill Simpson.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I love Sturgill Simpson.
No, he's the best.
And so much so that I have a band on the side and I play Sturgill Simpson. And I've said to people, I'd like to get to know Sturgill Simpson. And people said, he was on your show. And I'm like, I know, but it's not the same. Like, I wish Sturgill Simpson was my friend. He's such a good writer, such a good
Well, I could
singer-songwriter.
make that happen. I could negotiate that meeting. I'm
You
pretty
really?
sure. I could. Yeah.
It's going to end up with me, a suitcase of cash in a parking lot late at night.
Yeah.
Where the deal goes down.
We'll meet you around the world somewhere, one of your destinations for your show.
I would love to hang with both of you at the same time. But this book, we will talk about it. but I want to start on some other stuff first, which is who the fuck do you think you are?
Let me tell you.
Come, let me tell you something. I don't like you, and I don't like your comedy. I don't like your Southern ways. I'm from Boston, see? I was thinking about you, reading up about you, and one of the things that we really have in common was how important Saturday morning cartoons were to us and sort of our comedic outlook. You were watching, first of all, you took it really seriously. I remembered my brothers and I did too. We would study the Saturday morning lineup because it would refresh. It was a big thing back in the day. Now I think new shows come and go all the time. But if you're like me, I'm older than you, but I remembered in the summer you'd start reading about the shows that were going to come out in the fall, what the schedule and the lineup was going to be. You'd circle the ones that were interesting to you in the TV guide. They'd be, you'd talk about it. And then we were there Saturday morning. I would get up and have coffee.
Oh, me. Yeah.
And I was like 5.
Pounding it to get
I'd
through
have
gummy
coffee
bears.
and a couple of cigarettes.
I got to make it to Smurfs.
Yeah. And then I would watch these shows with real interest.
Yeah.
So you were watching. Probably the thing that influenced me the most was not a new show. It was Warner Brothers cartoons. The Looney Tunes characters. They influenced my comedy timing, everything. And you were into Daffy Duck.
I was into Donald Duck.
Donald Duck?
Yeah. I don't respect
that.
I like how angry he was. He was always so pissed off, and it was just such a funny, so funny against someone like Mickey, who just literally never loses his temper.
Okay.
And then he's just buddies with the angriest guy who's ever existed.
All right, well, I got that wrong. So now we're talking about
Daffy
Disney.
Duck is very cool too.
I love Donald Duck Daffy Duck because he really is disturbingly insane.
Yeah, he is.
And
he can pull his beak off and put it around the back of his head sometimes.
But I mean, just he needs to be medicated. He needs to go to McLean Hospital in Massachusetts. And we're all laughing, but it's like, no. We know what this is now.
If he was on TV now, he would get the care that he needs.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. But so you like Donald Duck. Donald Duck is so pissed.
Oh, so pissed.
Yeah.
And everything, the whole universe is always shitting on him all the time.
Yes.
Just constantly. He just has this little blue shirt on, just walking around pissed off.
That awful blue shirt.
Little hat.
And no pants.
And no pants. No pants at all.
Maybe I think that's why he's pissed.
Yeah, it probably is.
Walk around with no pants for a while and you'll just be an angry guy. Bus seat's hot. It's not that hot. It is when you have no pants. So you watched that, and you watched...
My lineup was the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon show. That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of what else came in the Littles. I don't know if you're...
I think you and I might be the same age. What
The
year were you
Littles
born?
I was born in 76.
73.
Yeah.
So, the little Snorks.
You were a little too old to be watching the Littles.
Not
though,
me.
Let's be honest.
No.
I was almost aging out.
I was
of
a
the Littles.
late bloomer. And what I bloomed into was disturbing.
I just have to admit, I was watching Saved by the Bell when I was 45 years old.
Those kids were hot.
Those girls are pretty. Dude, you're 45. You're here in an electronics store watching Saved by the Bell on 9 televisions. You've been here every morning. Yeah.
The Littles were awesome though.
What are the Littles? I don't even know what that is.
Their theme song was literally "We Are the Littles." They just said their name, and they were just tiny people that lived in someone else's house.
Normal
people's
sized people's house.
But they would make their beds and stuff out of matchboxes, and they would design things that were full size, but they would use it to their own advantage.
Really cutesy animated. They kind of all look like elves almost.
Yeah, somebody should remake that. And then you mentioned Shirt Tales. I remember that. That was such a strange concept for a show, which was just animals who their shirts said stuff, right?
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it.
Wait, what?
That was the
Animals
concept.
that wear clothing.
That wear shirts.
They wear shirts, and their shirts say things?
Yeah, I think they change depending on their emotions and stuff, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So the shirts are like a mood ring, but they have words on them.
And they might not have worn pants. They might have yeah.
Oh, there
it.
we go.
And see again the trend of no pants.
Yep.
Just shirts.
You know what? I walked through a mall wearing a shirt that said "Hug me" with no pants. Not one person hugged me.
You're
Not
busy
one.
watching
It's
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. I guess the security guard, it's kind of a hug. when they pull you to the ground.
Yeah, that counts. That counts.
That's what they were doing.
So you're growing up. That's important to you. You're raised Baptist.
Yeah, yep.
And your mom used to perform at the church. She would write out like skits and do the scripts and make puppets, and she would do a little show.
Yep.
That must have influenced you.
It definitely did. Yeah, I mean, I remember I was like surprised when she even took it on. Like, we just went to church. Then suddenly my mom is stepping up into this position where she's going to do puppet shows in front of the whole church.
Right.
And I was like, how are you going to do this, Mom? Do you know about puppets? You know how to do puppet stuff? She does. But yeah, she would kind of like drum up these like 2 to 3 page little scripts. And then it was her, it was my dad sometimes, and then it would be other people from the church playing some of the other characters. And it was just like the children's sermon before the big sermon. They would, so it'd be something, thou shalt not steal or whatever. And it's just a little skit about a kid who steals like lunch money at school and why you shouldn't do it.
Right.
But it was, I think what was cool about it was the idea of being able to see something created and then like a few days later performed in front of people. And then, from my point of view, I'm not doing the puppets. I don't have anything to do with it. I'm just sitting there watching the process. Like I'm seeing her in our kitchen writing these scripts and like, running the lines. And then a few days later, I'm at church, like looking around, watching people watch it and respond to it. And, I just thought it was cool. I think that was like the beginning of me sort of like even understanding like, oh, this is like something you could do. You can write things in your kitchen and people might respond to it.
Were you quite religious then when you were a kid, when you were Baptist?
I wouldn't say I was religious. I think I spent most of my time like, doodling on the minister's face in the program or just imagining what else.
I think we went to the same. I think whatever religion you are, I'm that religion. Yeah.
But it's funny because now that, I stopped going probably in middle school, but we went all the time. But then you look back and like, oh, it was actually kind of awesome that for like an hour you had to just be forced to sit there and be quiet.
Yeah.
While, and I think my imagination would run wild during that time.
Me too.
Period.
I was Catholic, so I went to Catholic Mass, but
you guys had to stand up and sit down a lot more
stand
than
up
we
and
had to.
sit down.
We could just be lazy. We could just
Yeah.
sit there every now and then clap along to a song.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to stand up and sit down a lot, but there's still a lot of time to look around. I would just look around St. Lawrence's church and like I would look up and just imagine all kinds of insane things because you weren't on a tablet. They didn't have tablets then. And you were trapped with your mind.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking about the stuff I was supposed to be thinking about. You said that your parents got divorced, and that also probably had an effect on whatever you questioning this whole Baptist thing.
Yeah, I just saw it as, I don't think it was exclusive to like the Baptist church, but it was at that time in the 80s, it was sort of like, people weren't getting divorced as much, and especially at the church, I think. So it was just, after it kind of happened, I felt like my mom didn't really feel like welcome there as much. And so then she would drop me and my sister off, and we're like, well, we're only going because you were going. We ain't trying to go to this thing by ourselves.
You walk in, you peek, the car's left, and then you guys go out the back door.
Yeah. And, the cool thing about that church I went to is called Salem Baptist Church. It was in Spotsylvania, Virginia, but it was actually a church that was around during the Civil War. So it was just kind of wild to go to some little church that was like, oh, this was like standing.
Was it the same Spotsylvania?
Yeah.
As the battle?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Same one. Yeah. A lot of Civil War action in my hometown.
Yeah.
Lots.
Those are nasty battles too.
That area too had some of the nastiest battles. Like I think it's known as the bloodiest ground in all of North America because of how many battles were there. But the gnarliest one I think is that Battle of Wilderness that was there, and that's like this insane battle that happened over the course of a few days in the forest. The forest was on fire, and guys were literally just like hatcheting each other. I mean, it was like awful. It was awful. It was insane, and it's killer. I used to go there all the time and just enjoy myself, think about that brutality.
Good times.
So great.
Now we're talking.
Great memories.
That's a good first date. I've talked about this on the podcast, but I'm a history buff and a Civil War guy, and I remembered my wife and I. People think it was our honeymoon. It was not. It was after we got married, but just shortly after, like a couple of months later, I had a week off from the late night show.
That's a honeymoon. Isn't that?
No, we had our honeymoon and then we came back from it. But then maybe 2 months later, I had a week off and she said, let's take a trip. And I said, yeah, let's drive down through Georgia and visit the different towns in Georgia. And, you know, she liked it. And then the next thing you know, I'm saying, she said, where are we going to now? And I said, Andersonville.
Oh,
And she said, what's that? And I said, that's the giant prisoner of war camp where the Confederates kept all the Union troops, didn't feed them, and they all died of diarrhea. And she said, we're going to Atlanta to the Four Seasons Hotel. We're going to drink Appletinis and get our diarrhea there. So we did that instead. But
I think you had a great idea.
I had a great idea. Yes. Think of all, looking at a field, think of all the diarrhea. One of the things that made The Righteous Gemstones just so great was you knew your subject. You understood these people. And also, I always sense there's affection there too. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think it works to make a comedy about people if you just think they're stupid and loathsome.
Totally.
And that's not what you did. You had a real understanding and affection for these people and found them ridiculous, but also understood them at the same time. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I think that is what we were trying to do. And I think we extended to a lot of the stuff from even, Eastbound to Vice Principals. It's sort of, we know that we're not dealing with like the best examples of mankind. Yeah. But I think that it's fun to treat them still with a little bit of empathy and even giving them enough depth. So, there's layers there. I think when comedy is written where there is such a disdain for what you're joking about, it can kind of become boring. I think it becomes more unexpected if you're confused as the audience of where you even kind of sit with this person.
I mean, I talk about this now. I do think it's very tricky. You always have to have a blend in comedy. If you're just thinking about the comedy, and obviously we're very divided right now in this country, and people are yelling at each other a lot, and it's very vitriolic. And I think sometimes that, I don't know, it just makes comedy, if you want to talk about it or portray it in any way, the only way to do it is to show some nuance and empathy for a different point of view. But that's not what a lot of people are interested in.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. And then the thing is, when everyone is kind of like on both sides are angry about the same exact stuff, it also just makes any comment you're making sort of feel redundant. Like people, it's like well-traveled paths,
Yeah.
So I do think when you can find that nuance, you probably have a better shot of actually like making people think if it's not something that they've been shouted out about over and over again.
And I think it's interesting to me is that you came to be known through comedy and hugely successful in comedy, but you've also carved out time to do these other things. You were a huge force behind the Halloween franchise, the reboots. And it's so fascinating to me because I've always thought there's a weird, sometimes people say, or I've said, many people have said it, there's a symbiosis between comedy and music. Like a lot of comedians also love music, and there's some kind of weird parallel. I also think there's something going on between comedy and horror. They're very different, but also there are things about them that aren't that different because it's all about surprise.
Exactly. I think you're with both of them, you're structuring an experience, you're with a joke, you obviously want to pace things out so that the punchline gets the biggest laugh. And I think it's the same way with those scares. You think about how, we'll make them a little scared here and then we'll let them off the hook here and then boom, we'll hit them here. So I think there is a little bit of that is similar as the architecture of trying to make sure you get the result that you're going for.
If you look at Jordan Peele, his work, if you look at Obsession, if you look at Weapons, a lot of these people have got their chops in comedy.
Yep.
And then when I was watching Weapons last year, and one of the reasons that I really wanted to do something with it on the Oscars was that character of Aunt Gladys is to me a comedy character. And there's so much of the movie that's kind of funny at the same time. And it's that razor thin line between this is hilarious and this is horrifying.
Yeah.
And many times when I've been trying to be funny in my career, I've been horrifying. But and if I tried to frighten any guy, I think they would just start laughing. So, but there's something going on there, and so it must have been a great creative outlet for you. Clearly, it was.
It was a lot of fun. That was Jason Blum had come to David Green about adapting that, and David Green and I have gone to college. We went to college together. We've known each other for a really, really long time. And, he came to me and was like, I think I might do this. Would you want to help me? I'm like, no way. You shouldn't relaunch Halloween. It's a terrible idea. I love Halloween. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But then as we were thinking about it, I was like, well, I mean, if someone's going to, why don't we give it a shot and let's see if we could. And it was honestly, it was like unreal. It was so funny to be sitting there like writing on that script and you're just writing, the shape walks into the room. You're kind of.
I was formed in that movie.
Yeah.
My babysitter made me watch it when I was 5 with the lights out, and so to like do away with all those sequels that in their own way I love, but to come back the way you guys did
It was
with
so
the
much
2018 one. Oh man, it was like closure for me. Thank you.
The whole experience was awesome. Not only getting to do that, but even, we had to go through steps of approval to do it. Like David and I had to go to John Carpenter's house and pitch him what we wanted to do. And it was sort of like, I've never really been nervous about pitching an idea ever. I mean, it's just like, if they don't like it, they don't like it. But suddenly as we're like knocking on his door, it's like, oh God, I think I'll be crushed if he doesn't like what this idea is. This is insane. And so I'm meeting him and pitching him this idea of like, we have an idea of what we want to do with something you've made. There's all of a sudden like, what are the balls of us? What are we thinking? We should never have.
That's great.
It was awesome. And then, once we got his approval, we sent it to Jamie Lee Curtis because obviously it wouldn't work without her in it. And when she called back and was like, yeah, I want to do this. I mean, Green and I are just looking at each other like, what is going on? I mean, it was insane. And when it premiered at TIFF, I think it might have been the most proud I've ever been of anything that we've done. I mean, I was so nervous of what that reception was going to be for that one because I'm there with them. I'm a fan of this. It meant a lot. And I just really wanted it to work for the other fans. And I remember watching that and just my stomach was in knots. I wasn't like eating for like 2 days leading up to it. And we're sitting in there. And when it got to the last half where they're like in the house with them and everybody in the theater's like cheering and applauding, I was just like, oh God, yes, yes. Oh, I'm going to live. It was awesome. It was so much fun. Yeah.
I also think writing how someone gets killed would be kind of fascinating because there is a real art to it. Just if the character just gets killed, well, that's, gets shot. It's boring. It's trying to think of these inventive ways that are sometimes 50% comedy.
Yeah.
The way someone, and you watch these movies as they're competing with each other to do it in a more interesting way.
There's the scene at the rest stop when Michael Myers comes in and just drops teeth on the ground it's harrowing.
Well, yeah, I think that idea about the teeth dropping, it might have even, I might be remembering it wrong, but I feel like it was our location, our buddy who works in locations who had that idea. And so that's the other thing is you're working on if you're on a comedy, sometimes you'll get jokes from people sitting around like, oh, you should say this. Like, oh, it's not bad. When people suggest things like he should drop the teeth, you're like, great idea, but also keep an eye on this dude. That is fucked up.
Yeah. Where'd you come up with that idea? Sometimes I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, I want to take the credit, but
that's fantastic. It just occurred to me that it would be, I don't know, it'd be really funny to shoot a short thing where it's you going to John Carpenter's house to pitch him, and he doesn't really like the idea, but you hang around, and then you use all the tropes from horror movies, like he goes into the kitchen at night and opens the refrigerator door, and then when he shuts it, you're right there. And you're like, I just really think, I told you I don't want to do it.
The pitch.
Yeah, it's just it's called the pitch.
Season of the pitch.
Yeah, season of the pitch, and you just keep.
I don't let it go.
Yeah, you don't let it.
I become his dog.
And
like
it's
in the
all,
thing.
yeah, it's all the stuff. Exactly, it's all the stuff that has been used a million times. I'm always amazed now when people use some of those tropes that have been used way too many times, and they don't put a spin on it.
Yeah.
Like, really?
That's why we were talking about Widow's Bay. There's
Yes,
a
that's what I was
slasher
thinking of.
episode and a moment with a shotgun that you wish you'd seen in slasher movies for decades, and you finally see it, and it's wonderful.
Widow's Bay is there. I mean,
I can't wait to see it. Everyone I know loves it. And
Well, here's what
I
it
have
is.
that on my list.
here's what they're doing something new on that show, which is it's not a comedy, it's horror and there's comedy, but they've got this ratio. It's like they invented this cocktail that's kind of perfect, and I don't think anyone's done quite that yet.
That's great.
I think one of the real brilliant things about the show is they'll get the tension up to this highest pitch, and then they'll always deflate it in this kind of humiliating way, but then get the pitch right back again. And without giving anything away, but there's just one point where there's like a demon, and the main character, Matthew Rhys, has gone in to talk to the demon, and this other woman says, you got to go in there and talk to the demon. So he goes in and he's trying to talk to the demon, and it's like knife's edge tense. And then the door just opens and she goes, I forgot my purse. And the demon and Matthew Rhys wait a second while she gets her purse, and she backs out. And you're like, who the fuck does that?
Yeah.
Who does that?
It's great.
Anyway, I don't know why we're plugging this show that neither one of us is involved in. But Widow's Bay, you're a genius.
Oh, that's killer.
I just have to give a shout out. Katie Dippold is the mind behind Widow's Bay. I think she's brilliant, and she's a former intern on our show, and she's brilliant. She's done a ton of other work, but I think Widow's Bay is her masterpiece. And also, while we're talking about other people's work, I think Hyundai makes an incredible
Oh, boy.
They've come a long way.
Oh, boy.
Let's talk about this book, because Thrilling Tales of Modern Men, I know that this is a theme you've worked on for a while in your work over the years, which is men kind of trying to confront maybe a world that's passed them by, or men who feel, well, you're going to describe it better than I am.
No, you keep going. I want to hear how you describe it now. No, you're totally right. These
Men
are,
like me who are masculine
and never lose.
I'm going to do, actually I can read from a New York Times review.
Okay.
This is shit, it says. No, I'm kidding.
Elementary.
It's a very
I
inarticulate
hadn't read
review.
that one yet.
Oh, no, this is the New York Times. What a piece of shit. Shitty shit. What the hell?
My mom wrote that.
I thought this was in my toilet, but it was. No, it's a book. No, New York Times review. Some of the stories fit neatly into the canon of wounded protagonists who lash out. Others tip toward a quieter emotional depth, albeit laced with obscenity and the occasional violent outburst. They're all undeniably the work of a storyteller interested in entertaining while also poking at what makes men tick and then go boom.
Damn.
Which is, yeah.
I'd buy that book.
You'd write that.
I don't have to because you gave me one for free.
Not for free. I need the Venmo.
Yeah, no, it's coming. It's coming. Because I'm real good with tech. But this comes out of like, you're so good, and I'm going back to even if, your first work, Foot Fist Way, and through everything you've done at, and also, Donald Duck. Like, people who are, assertive male characters that are also pissed off and frustrated because things aren't working out.
Yeah.
And that seems to be this area that you love exploring. And now you've got this really terrific book of short stories that tackles that.
Yeah, it's just, it's an extension, I feel like what you were saying about the work I've done in TV. Like, this kind of came to me because I really just wanted to see, could I do that and deliver that same experience, that same vibe, the same level of storytelling? Could I do it in a totally different format? And that was kind of why I entered this. And even the way the stories are sort of structured, like they start in essence with like a cold open, and the title of the story like comes up later in the story.
Yep.
And so it was kind of a way of me sort of trying to translate what I've written at this point like over 80 episodes of TV.
Yep.
And so it trains your brain to work in a certain way when it comes to storytelling. And I was just trying to use some of the stuff I learned doing that to just put it into a totally new endeavor.
Also, it feels too like if you're writing episodic television as you have, brilliantly over the years, you've got these characters, you want to get multiple seasons, and you set up your own rules and you set up who your, protagonists are and your side characters. And then that's what you've got to work with over and over and over and over again. And with a project like this, you can have an idea, explore it in a short story.
Totally.
And then pivot, say, okay, I'm done with that. Now it's going to be about a robot. Now it's going to be about a magician who's suspended in a box in a mall and gets in over his head. Now it's going to be about a sitcom actor who takes revenge on the coyote that killed his pet. Like you're working in a shorter form, but you can go nuts, which is great.
You can go nuts. And, Gemstones, I was writing on that for, 7 years, basically. And it was so much fun. And it was fun writing for all those characters. And that world that we established was a ton of fun. And it's weird, like when you've worked that long on something, once it's over, it is like almost like a breakup. It's like getting over a relationship or something that I wanted to write more, but I felt like I ain't trying to get into anything too serious. I need to get in and out. I just need some short stories, I felt like I couldn't commit myself to telling a story that was going to take that much time, And so the idea was I think there's just a lot of stories I want to tell. And this allowed that to happen where you didn't have to think of the story of will this have legs for 4 years? Will this, when you tell this one episode, it has to connect to 6 other episodes that tell a story. It's like you could enter it, start it, and take it to completion in one sitting. And it was a lot of fun. And I think after writing so much TV, it was just sort of a cleanse that I needed.
What is your process? I know it sounds like a boring question, but to me, it's fascinating. Do you write these stories here and there, or did you just sit down to write a collection of short stories?
I started I think there's only maybe 1 or 2 of them that are from this, but how I even began writing in this format was when we were writing Vice Principals. It was, we wrote both of those seasons in 1 year. So it was 1 solid year of just working on that morning, noon, and night. And it was, I was about 5 months in, I was feeling that thing of oh, I love these guys, but fuck, I have to do more with these guys today.
You're locked in a room mentally with these few characters.
And you're just trying, it becomes a puzzle figuring it all out. And I was just sort of the idea of anything else felt appealing. So I start this thing where in the morning before I'd go into the writer's room, I would just freehand write anything I wanted. And I would just get to about 3 or 4 pages and I would stop it. And I had no ambitions for what any of it would be. It didn't have to be anything. I didn't have to continue the same story, just whatever idea I wanted to, I would just let myself write that. And I did that for the rest of that year. I ended up filling up 4 books full of just all this stuff. And I put it away and didn't go back to any of it. And it really did kind of help my brain as I was writing Vice Principals. It helped me exercise different ideas and get things out and kind of stay excited when I would go into the writer's room. And then I guess it was around 2020, I just pulled those books out and looked at them for the first time. Was there anything in here that was worth anything? And most of it sucked, but there were a few things that that just kind of got my imagination going, or I was oh, it'd be kind of interesting if this thing continued, or if I wrote more on this, I would do this with it. And so that was kind of the beginning of it. I pulled out of those books probably about maybe 8 to 10 of the little kind of snippets of stories, and then started focusing on expanding those things. And then as I did that, I ended up getting rid of most of them. I kept 1 or 2. And then I just kind of was I want to do this. I want to try to create a book that I put this sort of level of thought into. And and then that just became, I was kind of teaching myself how to do it. I thought the big difference between doing this and then writing a script is with the script, there's always someone else really talented is going to come in to make it better. Whether it's an actor is going to come in or the DP is going to make it look cool. And it was kind of interesting to have it where you're oh, I'm just writing this. And then I really need to I need to do all that stuff myself. I need to make sure that this is translated to people the way I'm imagining.
Yeah, Ernest Hemingway didn't say, well, this is what I got. Punch it up.
Yeah. Give it a little juice.
The font will be really nice.
Yeah. let's focus on this one story, Institute of Men, because it's a fascinating idea. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
It's a story about a guy who is getting self-conscious about his hairline is receding. He's losing his hair, and he's worried. A coworker of his thinks that he has Gollum-esque features, and that if he loses his hair, it really could be bad for him. You know, so he starts to. He's like looking for a solution, and he sees this ad for this place called the Institute of Men, and he decides to sign up, and then he goes to this place, and it's a little unorthodox. There's some strange questions they ask him, and it's a very odd procedure that he has to kind of sign away to, and then it's one of those monkey paw situations. He gets hair, but there's a price that comes with the hair.
But I also love there's little things in it that remind me of some of the sort of comedy / horror things we've been talking about, where when you're going to get a medical procedure, you have to fill out a questionnaire, and the questions are just really they're not things that you would normally see on a medical questionnaire.
It should have been the first red flag. Yeah, they're asking him things like how many friends he has and the last time he cried.
When was the last time you cried?
Yeah, when have you been in a fight?
It's so funny because I've had ideas over the years for little strange things that's like, it's not a comedy sketch, it's just a concept. It's kind of freaky, but I'd like to expand on it more and write it out. But, I've never done it. It's why, I've been a massive fan of yours. And then when you did this, I was like, well, this man did the thing that I have never been able to do.
If an idiot like me could do it, Conan,
that is not how I think about it. But it's really exceptional, and also it has to just feel to have a book on the shelf. A lot of celebrity, famous people toss off books, and that's not what this is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I worked as hard on this as I would on any of the shows I worked on. I was like living and breathing it for the last year, and the craziest part about it is like you finish it and then you turn it in, and then it's like the rewriting it, where it's like, you rewrite an episode of TV, it's 30 pages, like, I can get through this in a day or two. You get the notes and you look at it, you're like, this is like a 400-page document. I got to rewrite this? Where the hell do I even start? Yeah. I don't even know if I can read this fucking thing in a month, But then you get down into it where you do just start, it just happens. I went away and just left my computer on and just sort of like would just pace back and forth, like just approach it a sentence at a time, Danny. Like, don't get intimidated by the weight of it. And then it does start to strip away. You do start to, like, you're like Neo in the Matrix. You're like, get rid of that, put that in, change that. You can just start doing it. Yeah.
I've never had that.
I'll show you.
I've never been Neo in that. I'm Keanu in Point Break. That's who I am. What are you working on now? Because this project is done, and I hate to say, okay, what else you got?
You know what?
What have you done for me lately?
I've been working on something I'm pretty excited about. I approached Paramount last year about trying to relaunch G.I. Joe for them as a feature. Yeah. Talk about cartoons, dog.
This is
big. Yeah, the guys I write Gemstones with, Jeff Radley and John Kachuri, we jammed we've jammed out this script that Paramount's excited about, and we're gonna that's what we're trying to make next year.
Wow, yeah. You can't say anything, huh?
I can't say. You know what? It's not a comedy. It's like a grounded action movie.
Oh my god.
In the comics, there's this town, Springfield, that is like secretly Cobra lives there.
I have that original comic.
Yeah, I loved it. And so our story takes place there. And
I realize that Matt's going to follow you home.
Yeah, you gotcha.
Make sure you watch the gate close behind you when you get home, but don't just assume that no one's walking in after you.
But don't worry, I'll be dressed like Duke from G.I. Joe.
Yeah, you will.
You're going to go to shut the refrigerator tonight. Gourley's there.
That was like the Halloween thing of like feeling like insane writing The Shape. This was like when I'm like writing the climax of it, and we're sitting here and I'm putting things like Cobra Commander and Snake Eyes fighting. I just had to stop and like go downstairs to my wife, and I'm like, this is nuts. I used to do this when I was a kid. Every day I'd make these guys fight each other, and now I'm writing that shit.
You're living my life. I'm so excited.
Wow.
This is amazing.
Tears of blood from that Gourley.
Yeah.
I do think that, and I chalk it up to pure luck, but there's so many times now where I'm doing something and I realize this is how I goofed around as a kid.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing it and people are saying, and cut, nicely done. I'm not getting yelled at.
Yeah, they're not telling you to clean up your toys. They're paying you handsomely.
That's all fine. Let's get back to G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Walton Goggins. I have to ask you about Walton Goggins because, I know him a bit and he's been here. He's just a fascinating creature.
He really is.
You must have, the second you saw him do anything, thought like, oh, I got to know that guy.
100%.
Because Walton Goggins is a character you would create. The person Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
The universe pushed us together.
Yeah.
I love him so much. He's one of my best friends. And since the very first time we worked together in Vice Principals, him and I have just had such a fast friendship. And, we took our families to Greece together last year. And
hilarious.
He's just so funny and so good.
He was here to do the podcast. I don't know if you remember this, but he got here a little bit early, and then one of his people said, Walton's very tired. He's going to take a power nap for 5 minutes. And he went into that little office where you were sitting, that little green room with the couches and the sliding door that goes outside. And I walk by, and he's asleep on the couch, but he looked like Dracula sleeping in his casket. He was like this, and his eyes were closed, and he slept really hard for exactly 5 minutes.
Wow.
And then came in here and he gave us a full blast of the Goggins.
I love it.
He gave us full Goggins.
Full metal Goggins.
Full metal Goggins, yeah.
When we went to Greece last year, it's like, he's a force, and it was awesome walking around Greece. Everyone recognized him. He had such a stellar year with White Lotus, and everyone was coming up, and Walton was dressed for it. We would go out, and Walton is like in full white linens. And then, I'm there with my kids. They're wearing like Crocs,
Yeah.
We'll take the photo for you. We go to these beach clubs, and like everyone in his family are just like finely dressed and just look like they're off a magazine. I just got my little redneck kids and me sitting here with bad suntans.
So he's like Aristotle Onassis and Jackie Onassis walking around Greece off the yacht. Yeah. And then you guys...
I'm like, Randy Quaid and, Vacation, just like, wait for me.
You're like, I'm going to get them Duke boys. I wish I could have. Again, I would just want to shoot that. We just want to see the B-roll of you guys walking around having a killer time. Unbelievable. Well, this has been a huge shot in the arm. I didn't even need a shot in the arm today, but I do this sometimes. I'll be driving in and I think, hey, I get to see Danny McBride today, and I love his book and so happy for him, and I just love talking to you and getting any time to hang with you. And I will take you up on your promise to the three of us, you, me, Sturgill Simpson.
I'll coordinate it.
I'll pay for the meal. You guys pick the Outback Steakhouse.
I'd love that.
And we'll go there. And if Goggin wants to drop by at some point,
we'll bring him too. We might have to change what we're wearing if he comes. We're gonna have up our game.
Well, Danny, thank you for dropping in, and congrats on the book. I love it. Thrilling Tales of Modern Men.
Awesome. Thank you.
Here we are. We're talking about Bley's tax saga. This is part 4, and maybe an ongoing series, and hopefully it doesn't, hopefully it ends well.
Bley, along with his mother, are part of a criminal gang where Bley was able to write off his various nerd collections of swords, lightsabers, Darth Vader helmets, whatever else he can think of. He was writing them off because he was bringing them up on the podcast. Yeah. And if the Internal Revenue Service is listening, and I think they should be, I think he should be investigated. And now you were a stranger to all of this, Matt.
I edited
because you were out on I think a 9-month paternity leave, which is fine.
Yeah. We began with conception, and then ended with delivery,
and ended with her starting at a very good college in the Northeast.
Yeah.
But now you have a fresh approach to all this. We haven't heard your opinion. So you speak. You listened to what Bley was up to, and what'd you think?
Well, God, I love you, Bley.
Oh,
And this only comes out of concern.
Oh boy.
You know it's not going to be good when you hear that stuff up front.
Jesus.
I'm just concerned that you're doing things backwards. That, you know what I mean? That you're coming on and saying after you've purchased these, like, oh, I'm going to mention them now, as opposed to having an actual solid reason for bringing them on the show, which I think would justify a write-off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, how can I bring them up if I don't already own them?
Well, I think they have to be organically.
This is organic. He talked about the pens. And
no one needed to mention the brand. You didn't need to mention the brand.
Why'd you say, what's it called again?
It's called the Kindle Scribe.
Yeah.
By Amazon.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I find it suspicious that you give lots of labels. You give a lot of, this is what it's called. This is where it's available. I think it's a really reasonable price. Get yours now. Click to proceed to cart.
You said what kind of pen you had. You said it's an Aurora pen. It's really nice. Didn't you say the kind of pen?
I did say that.
Okay,
I don't think he's writing it off.
How is that different?
I know, maybe you want an Aurora pen.
You could have written
it's a gift. No,
maybe
I'm not
just writing it off.
But I think the difference is if I was to say like, oh, I was taking out the trash last night, hefty trash bags. And
they are good trash bags.
Okay.
The force
right
flex,
now.
Bley, you know the difference.
Flex,
Bley,
odor killing.
Bley, you know the difference, which is I just said this is a nice pen. It's an
I know the
Aurora.
difference.
I'm not expecting anything from Aurora. Were they to give me something, which would be very nice if I got a free pen from Aurora, I would accept it, but I would never mention it on air.
No, I know.
Although I probably would, Aurora. But anyway, that's not what I would. Very good pens. It's just a pen that I use, and it's a pen that I have right now on camera.
Even though you can't write with it normally.
Well,
you have to write on an angle. No offense, Aurora, but what the fuck? Also, it's
Sona,
squirting everywhere.
You're right.
Sona.
Throw that thing into a hefty trash bag.
Squirting all over the
Sona,
place.
when I watched how you tried to write with this, I was appalled. Because listen, you just came right down, straight. It was a 90-degree angle. It was completely perpendicular. And I was like, oh my goodness. And 11-year-old me was appalled.
Oh no!
Yeah, that is not how one holds a pen and pen.
The one with the one who wants the stamp. That 11-year-old version of you.
All I wanted was a void stamp.
Oh, I really wish I could, impress that 11-year-old version of you.
Will
Sona?
you go out with me, stamp-loving kid?
Hey, you like stamps?
A rubber stamp. It's really fun. And you get to, like, with real authority, say, void!
Oh, no.
Remit. I wanted a remit stamp. Sona.
What? What, me? No, Bley, remember?
I know, but
I get it. I get it. Oh, yeah, Auroras are great.
No, I
Send
just
me
want to
one,
give you
too. Yeah.
quick. All I want to do is a quick shut up.
Yeah.
And then onward to Bley.
Bley, I just don't want to see anything happen to you. That's all I care
Thank
about.
you. I appreciate it.
I do want to see something happen to you. I would be delighted if you and your mother, who does your taxes for reasons that still escape me, even though she's not a tax person, she gets you on the phone and then she calls, what is it?
She's good at TurboTax.
She calls TurboTax and, calls TurboTax? You don't call. I'm doing your part for you. Calls TurboTax?
Thank you.
Who calls TurboTax? I did that for you as a gift to you.
Thank you very much. You're right. Who calls TurboTax?
I'm just showing you that I can do your role on this podcast, too.
If you know you said it incorrectly.
I won that argument with my hubba
Okay,
bubba
well,
bubba.
we do your
But
part.
Bley,
You're writing it correctly. Is there an angle?
Bley,
There's
you
wind
mentioned
on my
all the
fingers.
products. Buy Amazon, readily available. I think it's a good price. I know what you're up to. I see what you're doing.
Well,
and you leaned in, and you also still do the thing we've talked to you about,
What?
which is you put your mouth over the mic, like you're eating a giant kielbasa, and you shout into it.
You do grab it. He's grabbing it too.
He grabs it. What is the grabbing about? When do you grab the mic?
Because Eduardo and I
Boo,
share.
no one likes
we
you,
share a
boo.
mic.
Barrow's not
separating himself.
Eduardo is not having
Well,
this.
no, I was just saying we share a mic, so I need to grab the mic to pull it over to
And
me.
why are you yelling?
I don't know. I'm trying to take. Can I just, in defense, the reason why I say what it is not to write things off. I'm not going to write this off. It's in case people are like, oh, that's pretty cool. Where can I get that? I like that product. I would like to buy it also. Uh-oh.
So that's where your role here is on the podcast, is to direct people towards items that are in your life that they
You
might
have
also
an affiliate link where you get a percentage.
You know what? We could have an affiliate link for the podcast to make a little extra dough on this
You know,
side.
can I say
true.
something?
That's
I like
true.
paper.
Yes.
And I like the idea that, and I'm never going to be someone that wants to doodle and then press a button and it goes into the cloud.
Okay.
Because guess what? You think you're saving paper, but now server farms
And
have to handle my doodles,
you're killing
and we're
clouds.
burning valuable energy. We're burning fossil fuels,
Yes.
so that somewhere a server farm can hang on to my little guy that's going bibble babble dibble.
But you could lose your doodles, and this is my notes are being saved forever.
Yeah, that's important. And you know what? It's important that your thoughts are saved, Bley, for all of time. Well, I've never said anything that's more ridiculous. We're going to end there. But
God.
Bley, I've got my eye on you. I think you're up to no good. And if the IRS is listening, his name is Aaron Blair.
I think that's the thing, though, is the IRS has been gutted, so you're
Yes,
probably
they are
safe,
gutted.
you
Oh,
know?
we can
Yeah.
all just
I
do
know.
it
And you know
now.
what? The worst criminals like Bley are going to get away with murder.
Yeah.
It's like tax fury road right now. Just
Yeah.
go for it.
Go
Yeah,
for
why
it.
not?
Well, if that's the message of our podcast today, it's if you're thinking of cheating on your taxes, just go for it.
Let's do it.